Under the same moon, we share the love, embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. And why do we stand in love's pure might? Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and watching the world. We're back at it again. It's great to see so many people are joining us to talk about a subject that's facing a lot of us, and a lot of us are concerned when it comes to women, especially when women are abused, especially when it comes to children as well. As you know, here on Watching the World, we cover all of the sensitive cases that you will find in the court. And tonight we have a woman's advocate here with us, MamaFlip, and she's going to join us and really help us to break down these cases and break down the news in a way to help us to appreciate the women, the children, and also make sure we're not abusing people physically or mentally. And I say that again, we don't want to be abusing anyone. MamaFlip, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? How you doing?
All right, nice to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. So last week we had a great discussion in talking about Sean Diddy Combs. This week we're going to take a different twist on it. Although we will be talking about some of the events that happened. We discussed about the videos that leaked in regards to Sean Diddy Combs. But could you just briefly tell everyone who you are and what you do?
Okay, my name is I'm Mama Flip, but I'm also Marie Deleuze, and I am an advocate. And pretty much, I think it's just who I am is just a pretty an advocate. I think that's the best way to say it. And I've been an advocate or advocates for a very long time. I take my role very seriously. I'm also part of a lot of political circles, and but I'm also known as Queen's Flip Mom. So I don't know what else you want to know. I just normally lead with the advocacy foot.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's get right to it. What are your thoughts when it comes to these Epstein files that everybody's talking about? Do you think that there's any there, or do you think it's just another distraction?
No, I've always thought there was there. I have so many receipts that I pulled out, but we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. But there's always been there. First of all, Trump, DT, Trump had a long-standing friendship with Epstein since the 1990s. We've seen the videos, we see the dance videos. A lot of us make fun of it, but that was his boy. They both was rich playboys. They both was into real estate. Obviously, they connected and they became friends, right? So there's always been something there. The fact that Epstein got caught and put in jail just on a make-believe type of deal, right? Because he was able to go home. He was able to continuously harass and take advantage of young girls because he was a criminal. He was because we're on social media, I try to be very careful of the words because I'm not sure what words we could use. But he actually sexually assaulted a lot of young girls, and Trump knew this. Trump knew it. There's this story going around that says that he was very upset because Epstein took Virginia, God rest her soul. She's the one that unalived herself this past April, and from his Mar-a-Lago spa. Why is Donald Trump, who was a member of Mar-a-Lago spa, who pretty much made his life there, had an underage young lady working there? Apparently, the rumor is they got into a fight because of Virginia, and that's where they broke up. But I just don't believe that. I think that he kept in contact with him, but he just kind of kept it on the down low because he knew that Epstein had these cases and he didn't want to be aligned with it. But Trump has been aligned with a lot of very predatory um, guys throughout his career. One was named Gerard Marie. Guys, please Google that. And one is named John Casablanca. Just Google it. It's very, very simple. He has been part of this crew. Even David Copperfield was also being alleged. How is it that this man has so many friends that are pretty much the same MO as him? Sexual predator. So yes, obviously he was friends with Epstein. Obviously, the Epstein and him had a falling out. I think Epstein got mad at him as he got mad at Epstein for Virginia, but there is a lawsuit that's been in place that was placed and moved in place again by Katie Smith. Katie Smith, if you look at her lawsuit, I have a copy of her lawsuit. I brought out all my receipts. I brought out all my receipts, so if I could share them, but I'll send them to you because I have a whole email full of things, and I have a huge 3-hour live, actually 2 separate 3-hour lives explaining everything I'm saying. So Katie Smith sued Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and alleged that both of them abused her. And she specifically mentioned Donald Trump. And one of the things that she mentioned in her lawsuit was the fact that Epstein was mad at her because apparently Katie Smith was not experienced. She still hasn't slept with anybody by the time she got to Trump. And there's a whole paragraph in there that says that the reason why Epstein got mad at her is because she gave herself to Trump. Now, if we are to believe all these various survivors, because I will call survivors because they all have the same story about Trump. They're all very consistent. I did an analysis of about 15 women who told pretty much the same thing: how he's predatory, how he approached them, how he grabbed them, how he kissed them, the whole MO. Just do an MO of all the women that he assaulted, right? You will see and read Katie Smith statement, you will see that there is a comparison. So yeah, so I totally believe that that was his friend. I think there is a dare there, because if there wasn't a dare there, he would have released it. Donald Trump is nothing but think that he's the smartest person in the entire world. If there was nothing there, and I have to congratulate MAGA, because it was MAGA, it wasn't the Democrats, it was MAGA and the GOP that wanted this report released because they thought the Democrats was in there. And of course, they do have one Democrat named Larry who resigned from his position in Harvard as a professor. I think it's Summerfield or Summers, Larry Summers. So yeah, you got one Dem. There might be others, but we want everybody to come out. But it was because of them that this actual file, or at least the bill to release the file, has started, right? So he would have been releasing if it was only the Dems in there. What? It would have been 24 hours though. He would have put on social media. I mean, his Truth Social. He would have put photos. It's why would Donald Trump stop for almost a year to prevent this file from coming out? It doesn't make sense. If you know anything about Donald Trump, you know that this man doesn't care about no one. He doesn't care about anybody. He would have just outed everybody. He knows he's in the files. He knows the fact that he had a relationship with Epstein, and that's why he kept it. So now there's going to be a whole cover up. Now there's going to be a whole cover up. I'm just waiting to see how much information that comes out. You understand? Democrats have said there's nothing on Trump. And do you want me to read? I don't mind reading.
No, it's okay. It's all right. I could cover it for you too, whichever way.
So yeah. No, the Democrats is not upset, and this is the irony of everything, right? The Democrats is not upset because the Democrats want all of this thing to come out. Because the difference between the megas, because I called you guys Make America Great, and I called GOP part of the mega. I know you guys are trying to separate a little bit. I appreciate the separation, some of you guys anyway. But I always say that the Make America group is the ones that's supporting Donald Trump, and everybody falls into that. Even if you're a little bit mega or a lot of mega, and you guys are supporting Trump. The mega community seem to believe that we have the same obsession with our political leaders as they do. And I appreciate loving your guy. Like I'm not one to hate like that. Like you love Donald Trump, y'all want to support him, and y'all do everything you can, then that's y'all. But the rest of us out here, if one of ours does anything ratchet, especially the Congress, representative, the governor. We kicked them out. Look at everything from the mayor to the governor to even Al, who was a comedian. Everybody, the movie stars, everybody get kicked out. Everybody get canceled. How can we be the cancel culture and still don't want to know the truth? Oh, we want to know the truth. We want to know which one of ours
Preach.
is shenanigans. But we also want to know which one of y'all's is finding shenanigans too, because we want them out also. We all collectively want the Epstein file to be released so we could see who's been out of line, who should be kicked out, who should be removed from society, and that's including Donald Trump.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Virginia Dufresne, the young lady that unalived herself this year, Donald Trump said in the video, I actually played it on the channel, this is something out of his mouth, so I'll still say allegedly, but he said that Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell basically took her, recruited her from Mar-a-Lago when she was roughly 16, 17 years old, and then she told the rest of the story, and we know what happened to her. Are you shocked that the president said that on air?
No, I'm not shocked. I say, first of all, he's of the age that a lot of people blame Biden for not running to leave the race, right? Because Biden was old and he was suffering from dementia, and he didn't have cognitive the brain cell to actually do the job. See, Trump is an old man. He's old. And he has always been the one type of guy to gossip anyway. He's just a little gossiper. He's been that way. It's known through New York society that he loves to gossip. So obviously, if he has a bit of tea and that he wants to make himself grandiose like the man, right? And he wants to separate himself from Epstein, obviously he's going to tell the story. He's going to tell the truth, and he doesn't feel anything of it because he's not thinking that he's going to be associated with him in a negative way, because he's just thinking of getting Epstein in trouble. He doesn't understand that in order for Epstein to get Virginia, she had to be within his reach, and she was hired by your location to be assistant in the spa. So he doesn't make that connection because he's selfish, he's egotistical, so he can make the connection. So yeah, of course he would say it. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. He really don't.
Okay, Old Texas says Epstein donated money to Jeffries and the Democratic Party.
Oh yeah, sure. I haven't seen any proof of that, but if you say so, you could say so. We found out that the King Andrews and Fergie also had a lot of money from Epstein. Obviously, Epstein was a billionaire. He was giving everybody money, according to what we're beginning to find out, right? He was supporting, and then recently there was somebody else that I was surprised about that it came out. It just came out today. Oh shoot! I was actually surprised that her name came up today. Oh, the Queen. I mean the Queen escort. Charles' wife, King Charles' wife, is now being named in something that has to do with Epstein. So every single rich upcoming political leader during that period of time may have gotten money from Epstein. Remember, the person that gave him the sweetheart deal was a Democrat assistant general, I believe, that gave him the sweet deal. That's the person that became, what his name is, Alex. But he's the one that became, he had to resign from the position because Donald Trump gave him a position in the prior administration. So they're all connected. You must forget that Donald Trump was once a Democrat. Donald Trump went to Hillary and Bill Clinton wedding. They were friends. So yeah, for you to come and tell me that he gave money to every single body in power. Now, the thing is, what did they do with that money? Did they go to his house? Did they send him a loving letter with a naked woman and sign it as in the front of the drawing in the front of the person, vajayjay, as a vajayjay? You know what I mean? This is what you have to do. Take what you know and just investigate and see how far the relationship went. Unlike Jeffries and a lot of the Democratic Party, they went and got money from a lot of people. The difference between them and Donald Trump is that was Donald Trump's friend. That was his boy. They hung out. And both his name and Jeffrey's name is in Katie Smith lawsuit. So
let me ask you a question, right? Donald Trump said that he could stand basically in Times Square and shoot someone, and his followers would still support him. Do you think if he's doing a great job with the economy, that it warrants him overlooking some of these issues?
I mean, warrant them from looking at some of the issues as far as the Epstein, if they find out.
Yeah, overlook what he's done or what they allegedly done because he's doing a great job as a president.
First of all, he's not doing a great job. So let's just put that out there. Second of all, I don't know. I mean, there's been a shift from 2016 to 2020 to the current MAGA community now. There's a shift right now. The shift is the Epstein files. If Donald Trump did not mishandle the Epstein files, he would have a lot more of his supporters still being as in love and loyal with him between 2016 and 2020. Because I do believe that based on their loyalty to him, that he does believe, and they've proven during the first 4 years that they're very loyal. That if he had shot somebody, they would have had an excuse for it. Like it was that person's fault. They shouldn't have been in front of the gun. It's like he must have been feared for his life. They would have had 1,000 excuses. The problem with right now that's happening is that a lot of the MAGAs, not everybody is being awakened to the fact that Donald Trump is like every other predator in the world, right? He is covering for Epstein, and he's making them look bad, because there's one thing that people do not like, especially the Republicans. Anybody don't like is for you to look bad, for somebody to say, I told you so. None of them like that. They're like, yo, why didn't you just release the file? Just tell your people on the side, yo, don't release my name, right? And just play the game. But he couldn't do that, and it's making them look bad. So now I don't think that he could use the same analogy that he could shoot anybody and no one would do anything, because they just forced them to release the file, which is something they didn't want to do. So he has less control of the MAGA community. He's not could fully. I won't feel comfortable until I see what happened midterm to see if he lost more control. But yeah, he's really on thin ice with them, in my opinion.
Okay, so when you hear the report about Bill Clinton and that Donald Trump was blowing boom, 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 and what do you think these bizarre? I think, yeah, Bubba, where do these bizarre stories come from? Don't they take away from the truth? Wouldn't you believe that?
Well, it's not us. I mean, apparently it's an email from Mark, which is Epstein's brother, to Steve Bannon. Like, let's talk about Steve Bannon. Let's talk about Michael Flynn. They're all part of this nonsense. Apparently, he said, does Russia knows that has a picture of him blowing Bubba? Now, it's being alleged that Bubba is not Bill Clinton, according to Mark. Mark followed up and said, yeah, Bubba is not Bill Clinton. But Mark also followed up and said it's a joke. The fact is, we don't know. The scary thing is, like, in all due respect, I've met the Clinton. I've been in panels with them. So I'm going to be very respectful when it comes to them, because fortunately, if I meet somebody and they're part of my life, I'm not going to go there. But when I did hear the story, Monica Lewinsky came to mind. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. The fact is that Mark said it wasn't Bill Clinton. I'm just going to let it go and move on. Other people could just ride with it. But unless you show me a picture, I'm out of that conversation. But I think that something did happen. And only Mark Epstein's brother could tell exactly what happened, because a lot of these emails is many years ago. And I don't know if Stephen Bannon has came back. Like, for example, if you have a conversation like that, the reply would be from Stephen Bannon, stop playing, because that's how we talk. But like, why would you say something like that? That's not true. I have not seen any follow-up email in which Steve Bannon denying that reply. Like, why are you joking like that? That's not even funny. So it's just right there hanging there. So I don't doubt, based on everything that I've seen and heard about Donald Trump, I do not doubt that something like that could have happened. I just don't. Right now, obviously, a lot of people say that, he loves the ladies, right? Sometimes Some of them were underage, allegedly. But so we haven't heard anything as far as except for the Russiagate, if you want to believe the Russiagate, right? We haven't really heard anything about him being LGBTQ community. There's nothing wrong with it, so we haven't heard it. So this one is a good one, right? This one is a good one. It could have been a transgender Bubba. Who knows? What I'm saying? We don't
Let
know.
me ask you. Let me ask you. Why do you think Epstein had a picture of Clinton in a dress when you walk into his fancy condo?
It's possible that Clinton likes wearing dresses. You know, there's a lot of men, powerful men, who feel, oh, it could have been they went to a Halloween party or whatever. It could have been a joke. But it's possible that he could like wear dresses. There's a lot of powerful men that love to wear their women underwear. There's a lot of powerful men like that. It doesn't make them LGBT. It's true. I mean, there's a lot of powerful. If you listen and you do deep dive into the sexual preferences of different people, whether it's heterosexual, LGBTQ community, there's a lot of people that prefer different things. You have cross dressers, you have cosplay, right? You have the woman dressing like a man, and then you have the man, and they don't have to be LGBTQ. It's just what they like. For prime example, Bruce, who turned into Caitlyn, right? Jenna. You have Bruce Jenna, and now it's Caitlyn, right? He's Caitlyn now, right?
Right.
Have he identified himself as a transgender person? I'm not sure. Has he identified himself as LGBTQ community? I'm not sure. But he's been dressing like that for many years, according to his former wife, is what they like. So yeah, so if Bill Clinton likes dressing like women, like a woman in this particular picture, that's what Bill Clinton is into. But we also know that Bill Clinton liked the ladies.
Remember the shooting that happened? I believe it happened with Charlie Kirk, and there was an issue that came up about a transsexual. And most of the Republicans were saying that basically when you hear transsexual, that's a Democrat or a liberal.
You can't say that when you have Kathleen Jenner. You can't have it both ways. Like, we all know that Kathleen, former Bruce Jenner, is a Trump supporter. He's Trump boy. Like, I mean, girl, I'm sorry, Kathleen. I believe Kathleen has identified. I don't even know if Kathleen has identified herself as her now, because I'm so confused. But the fact is that Bruce and Kathleen Jenner know each other very well. They support each other. So you can't just pick the Democrats when you have a glaring, famous example of somebody that's doing the same thing. Is crazy to me.
But I think the argument is that the Democrats work so hard to, have the policies in place for people to become a transgender. So that's why that has become the signature of the Democratic Party. That's what the Republicans are trying to say.
You see, the Democrats, the thing about the Democrats is very simple. You could pick any subject matter. It's about minding your business, allowing the person to live the best life that they want to live, the way they want to live it. That's what it is about the Democrats. You see, the Republicans want to control everything, right? They want to be able to tell people what to read, what to eat, how to use their body, who they love. The Democrats, we about minding our business. And minding our business also mean helping somebody. We don't want somebody to unalive themselves. If they need to get medical services in order to live a better life, then we'll do that. But it's all about minding your business. It's nobody's business who wants to be transgender, who wants to be LGBTQ, who wants to have the only thing that we need to worry about is illegal stuff. That's what we need to worry about. Like someone who wants to hurt children, right? Someone who wants to sell rugs to children. Like, these are criminal things we need to mind our business about. But everything else of everybody's life doing whatever they want to is none of their business. So people want to blame the transgender issue on Democrats, but I go back to the Bible. All right, because I'm not a Christian. I'm a lapsed Catholic. I go back to history, like prior to our past generations, to Rome, to Africa. Back in the days, we had sister and brothers. We had LGBTQ. We had a lot of shenanigans happening back in the days. Years ago. Even nowadays, you have Republicans coming out as sexual predators. right?
Oh Lord,
We
damn.
do have we do have it. If you look, there's been several articles, and I think people are really paying attention because the hypocrisy of GOP. There's been every time that they catch a predator, they also do a deep dive into their political belief. And there is a lot of ex Twitter accounts that does that. They do that much better than me. They'll be like, oh, this is a pastor and he's a Trump supporter, and this is that he's GOP. There's been a lot of people. And in fact, yesterday I saw, and I'm sorry I didn't get the name. I was very surprised of a former GOP representative that had to apologize, and it's on X, that had to apologize to his victim, and I think the victim name was Christine, if I remember correctly, because I saw the article, and I'm like, damn, he had to apologize. So there is a lot of articles about different people that represent the GOP, the Republican, that's been caught out and as far as sexual predatory behavior, when especially underage, growing up. So it's just what it is. Yes, Democrats, everybody want to throw it on Democrats. This is why the Epstein file became such an important weapon for MAGA, because they really felt that only the Democrats did these things, whereas anybody could be a predator.
A lot of people think that Israel was behind Epstein versus him just being hitched up with a guy from Victoria's Secret, allegedly.
Mhm. Now, I want to be very careful to talk about Israel and Gaza. I try very hard not to get into that too much because of the fact is I have friends in both communities, right? I have friends in both communities. So I try very hard to be very careful, especially me being political. I want to be careful. Candace Owen, who has apparently disappeared, and I have to do a live about her because I didn't realize she's been gone for 4 days, is alleging that her life is being threatened as a result of her identifying Egyptian planes coming in and different deep state that had to do with CK, right? She also brings Israel into it, right? She's another one. So until I see the actual receipts of how Bridget and the French and the Egyptian and Israel is connected with all of these cases, I don't have much to say about it because right now this is all conspiracy, right? We have a lot of people out here that is throwing conspiracy, and now I hear that Epstein is connected to Israel. I would not be surprised if Epstein is connected to everybody. Epstein was a billionaire. The reason why Epstein got away with his action for many years is because he had very powerful friends that had his back. He hurt hundreds of young girls, hundreds, not 10, not the 6 that's out here talking. That includes Virginia, when Virginia unalive herself. We're talking about hundreds, possibly thousands. He did it for a span of 10 to 20 years.
Wow.
I'm saying there's no way he could have gotten away with it if he didn't have powerful friends. Now we are focused on GOP because a lot of the powerful friends turned into Republicans. It's what it is, but it's not. Doesn't mean that the Democrats, like I said, the original Democrat, which was I think his name is Alex, and I apologize, I don't know Alex's last name. I do have it in my article. Is the one that let him free, right? That gave him the sweetheart deal, right? So Democrats was part of it too. So yeah, he was very famous, very rich.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to talk now with you a little bit about what happened.
And let me put it out there. I love Hakeem Jeffries. I also was part of a panel with Hakeem Jeffries. I met him many times. He's an amazing person. I met Bill. I met Obama. I met Biden. So you guys are throwing things at me, but let me tell y'all that I've actually met these people in person. I've actually been part of panels with them. I've actually have pictures with them. Like I know Hakeem Jeffries extremely well. So you guys throwing things at me. I'm telling you that these people are legitimate good people. Now, with the 300 million that you said that Jeffrey got, what did he do with the 300 millions? Did he write in Epstein book? Is there any photos with him and Epstein dancing and partying? Is he listed in any lawsuit? Hakeem Jeffrey don't even have one case, whereas Donald Trump has 60. Okay, I'm being crazy. About 34. So when you start throwing Hakeem Jeffrey's name in it, y'all MAGAs, start digging up, man. I'm sure there's a photo out there with him and Jeffrey. With him and Epstein somewhere. There has to be some type of allegation. You haven't even heard one allegation when it comes to Hakeem Jeffries. Y'all playing in my face, but that's okay. Bring the receipts.
You know what they say about Hakeem Jeffries? They say he's the Timu Barack Obama.
Let me tell you something. Hakeem Jeffries don't need to be the Timu of anybody. If you guys don't know who Hakeem Jeffries is, I feel bad for y'all. Y'all better just pay attention. Be very mindful of who Hakeem Jeffries is. First of all, he's a strong black male, right? Who is very intelligent and who got to this position where he is at now, which he is the minority leader of the House of Representatives. Y'all keep playing with Hakeem Jeffries if y'all want to, but I've known the Hakeem Jeffries ever since he was our representative here in New York. Y'all keep playing with him if y'all want to. So no, he is not a Timu version of President Obama, who I do love President Obama. Hakeem Jeffries is an entity all by himself. Y'all keep watching out for Hakeem. No, he's not weak, but that's okay. That's your opinion. Y'all just watch out. Y'all just watch out and see what he does next.
All right. Take a moment to tell everybody a little bit about you and promote what you do.
Okay. Well, I would love if you guys are very interested. I only got 5 followers from the last time we did this live. I don't think people like me very much, but I would love everyone to follow me on MamaFlip Slots. That's MAMASFLIP Slots SLOTS. We have a slot channel, me and my mom. I also have MamaFlip Live, which is here. This is what I'm actually streaming to, but I've also have MamaFlip Slots, which I would love everybody to follow up. That's where we play our slot channel. Me and my mom, we play slots, and I'm trying to get us over 10,000 subscribers. So we'd love for you guys to come over there, check out, especially the Make America Great community. I would love to see me lose money all the time when I play in slots. So yeah. So that's one of the things that we do, a hobby that I do with my mom. But other than that, I'm just I'm a civil servant. I'm a political leader, and I pretty much do a lot of things. A lot of stuff that I do is really based on community and helping people. I mean, and my love and passion was the last one was being a gun violence prevention advocate. Prior to that, veteran advocate. Prior to that, disaster action team with the American Red Cross. And I hold these titles still to this day. It's different things that I do to help the community. So that's who I am.
Okay. Scott says Trump is lies, hate, and division.
Yeah, he is. The thing about Trump is that the funny thing about Trump is that I was a fan of Trump when he was in The Apprentice. Oh, I loved him at The Apprentice, boy.
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't stand what he did with the Central Park. This is funny how you sometimes you change depending on who the person is. I couldn't stand what he did with the Central Park 6. I couldn't stand him for that, but I kind of got, and I knew he had racism in his background. But when he was actually in The Apprentice, I actually saw a guy that was like, I really thought that he was rich, he was successful. I fell for the okie doke. And when he was running, when I heard he was running, I wasn't upset that he was running. I only got upset when he said what he said about the Mexicans. Because I was kind of excited. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna start a mess. I'm like, I was really excited when I heard that he was coming in, because I thought the person we were gonna get was the leader of The Apprentice. That's what I thought. So I was kind of excited. And then when he went down and he started talking about the Mexican, I was like, oh hell no, we're not doing this. I said, we are not doing this. And also he was running as a Republican. But even before he said that he was running as a Republican, I'm like, we're not doing this. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And the reason why I felt so strongly, and a lot of people did not get, is the fact that once he started talking about the Mexicans, he's going to talk about the Haitians. And I felt very strongly as a Haitian descendant. I'm like, oh yeah, you starting. You're going to talk about them. You want to come after us. Right. And I couldn't see him just focusing on one group of people. I said that this man has shown his behind. He showed that he's a racist. He showed that he's disrespectful, and he's going to go after every black and brown group in America, in the world. And I just couldn't stand that. But for a small period of time, I really liked the guy.
Yeah, I used to like the show too. Now, Gold Digger says, wasn't it Alex Acosta?
Yes, that's who it is. Thank you. It was Alex Acosta that gave him the sweetheart death. Thank you so much for telling me, because I knew that's exactly it. And Alex Acosta was a Democrat when he gave that deal. right? And it was Alice Augusta that Donald Trump, and then look at the irony of it, right? So Alice Augusta was a Democrat back in the days, right? Donald Trump gave him a position in 2016 to 2024. How is that not a coincidence that the best friend of Epstein, who gave Epstein a sweetheart deal, ended up getting a plum position with Donald Trump, in which he had to quit because of Epstein? But the fact is, they're all connected. It's all a web. They all connected somehow. It's just depending on how they connected. Did it become illegal? That's what we need to concentrate on. I'm sorry, Mel. What were you saying?
No, that's all. That's all. Jennifer says TDS is full on here.
What does TDS stand for? What, Donald Trump syndrome?
Derangement syndrome.
Derangement syndrome. So I'm deranged. Because they used to call it Trump disorder syndrome. It's your opinion, but here's the problem with thinking that the TDS is an issue here. You see, I'm very well informed about Donald Trump. Very well informed. I've done intensive research on Trump. I have several articles on Trump. I have photos of him with young people. There is several articles. There's one article that I brought up, and I wish I could show it. It's called, just go Google it. It's called, it was done by The Guardian, right? And the title is Teen Models, Powerful Men, Private Dinner When Trump Hosts Look of the Year. You could see Trump. Look at these little girls. I can't share. I can't share.
Yeah, you can share if you want to.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna show you this. This is very important that you guys see this article right here. Just give me 1 second. Let me bring it up. I just want to show you this article, and then you guys could do your due diligence. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I don't close myself off. So Command C. I want to make sure that I put it here so we don't close, because I don't want to.
Take your time. Take your time.
Sorry about this, but this is important for you guys to see this article. All right, so here we go. This is just one. Okay, please don't do this to me. All right, because Guardian asked you to put. Okay, this is just one article that I did. Okay, hold on 1 second. How do I share? Share screen. Share. And all right, I gotta mute this because it's gonna double. Let me mute this.
Shout out to Mad Negro for the super chat. Appreciate your grind, sir. But unfortunately, Hakeem, as well as any other Democrat, cannot answer a yes or no question. Coffee on me. Shout out to you. Thanks for your.
What it depends on what. Yes. Okay. I put it. I don't know. It can't show.
Okay. 1 second.
All right. This is where we are. So ask a specific question and I'll answer. Now, this is a wonderful article that you guys need to take some time. Now, how old are these young girls next to Donald Trump? Some of these young ladies in the article talks about how they were on his yacht and they were told by John Casablanca and Gerard Marie how to wear their bikinis and walk up and down to show their situation to these very powerful men. The article is written in 2020, right? It's by The Guardian. Okay. It says the party above the spirit of New York was one of several events that Donald Trump, then 45, attended with a group of 58 aspiring young models that September.
Ooh,
they had traveled from around the world to compete in the elite look of the year competition. Please look it up. Please Google. Please Google. Please Google. And I have this is not only, I have 15 articles. And I will download and I will send Mel the link of the detailed, very detailed analysis I did about your boy Trump. So let's go. So an annual event that's been running since 1983 and was already credited for launching the career of Cindy Crawford, Helene Christensen, and Stephanie Samore. So continue just reading. right? The stake was a life-changing price of $150,000 contract with the world then leading modeling agency Elite Management, run by John Casablanca, who was the leading predator. Predator. Do you hear what I'm saying? If we continue to talk about, there's pictures of him and John, there's pictures of him with Gerard Marie. All you have to do, and I'm going to stop the share.
I'll be doggone.
Right? All you have to do is just look up this article. This is just one of many. This is one of many. It's very easy to connect Donald Trump to these predators. Why is Donald Trump friends with all these predators? Why are they so close? Why is he collaborating? Why are there women who said that he was creep? Right? Why did Kathy Smith says that he assaulted her and raped her with Jeffrey? Why is that? Why is everybody lying but Donald Trump? So yeah, there's a lot of articles on Trump. Just Google it. Just Google this is a great article that tells you everything about what happened to Trump. You just could see him with these young girls just enjoying himself. So last week
Donald Trump says release the files. He's ready.
Yeah, and then we're waiting 30 days. I want to see how much is released. I want to see how much released, because apparently Pam Bondi also have the directive in which she could make a determination, because she wants to protect the survivors, right? That she doesn't have to disclose the names. That's also part of the bill that a lot of people are not paying attention to, right? She could release any name that she chooses to, but she could also choose to hide the name. Now, what I'm hearing, which is upsetting, is that the lead of the Congress, the House of Representatives, that's actually Comey, his name is Costa Comey, is saying that he is asking the women of the committee that's running the Epstein report to actually speak to the survivors, to get the names of the survivors, because that's what he wants. He wants the women to name the women, the survivors, a female that's actually been brutalized by Epstein, has already made it perfectly clear that the reason why they don't want to name the predators, the one that attacked them, is because people are not going to believe them. They want the receipts. This is what the investigation is about. To find the receipts, to find the bank statement, to find the emails, to find the letters. That's what they want. They need the receipts before they name the name, but they want them to do the opposite. And they already said no. They already said no. Even in her book, Virginia G, I can never pronounce her name, said her author said that there were certain names that she know that Virginia refused to name because the person is so powerful. And she's not even going to name the person because she said that she's feared from Virginia's children. So we're talking about some very powerful men. So that's why they're looking for the receipts. So I don't know how much information Pam Bondi, but I do know that Pam Bondi is going to protect Trump at all costs. That I know. He's going to protect Trump. She's going to do the best she can. But I think they're going to eventually piss off the survivors to the point where they're going to come out and tell the truth.
Yeah. Do you think it's straight?
No one has came out and said that Donald Trump did anything except for Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein in the email said that Trump was with one of those girls for 4 hours. I think that the girl that he was with, because it's on Katie Smith lawsuit. I think the one that Jeffrey Epstein is talking about is Katie Smith, because the 4 hours go in line with what she wrote in her lawsuit. It's just too much of a coincidence for me. And the thing is, I think that Trump got smart enough after that to be like, yo, I'm not doing this again. But I think Katie Smith, according to her statement, because I wasn't there, Katie Smith detailed exactly what happened with Trump that day in her lawsuit. And I think she's the one that Jeffrey Epstein spoke about in the email. And that's just based on my analysis of her lawsuit and what Jeffrey said in the email.
Okay, we have 250 people here. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. We do this every week. It's such a honor to have you here. I tell you, it's amazing you're so knowledgeable, especially when it comes to politics. We wouldn't take anything for you. I know you're getting a lot of pushback, but I know you're strong enough to face the tide. And it's a beautiful thing. It's amazing to hear your knowledge. Let's see here. Levin says they are all bigots. What do you think?
Who is all bigots? Is who they're talking about. We're talking about all the Democrats are bigots, all the Republicans, people in the whole. Who are they? Like, is they us? Like, you can't say they. I don't know where you at. Are you the Democrat or are you Republican? Like who is it? Identify who we talking about.
Right. So we'll look out for that answer to see if that person comes back and kind of
Yeah.
explain it to you. Okay.
A grown black woman that doesn't know the difference between a male and a female. This is madness. You talking about me?
Talking about the
Oh,
transgender, saying the transgenders need
see,
to know where they sit.
you see, it's well, he said a grown black woman. Thank you for calling me grown. Because if you talk about me, I'm definitely grown. So I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, do what I'm gonna do, and you can't do nothing about it. So let's just keep it 100%.
Uh-oh.
Think of me as your mama, your auntie, your grown, or your grandmama. So you can come at me if you want. Here's the thing that we have to have an understanding: it's not my business to tell them who they are. You see, this is why it's about minding your business. When you go to school and you learn math, let me tell you something what they did in math for me. They used to tell me this is an apple and this is an orange. For me to learn algorithm, I had to use apple and orange. When I used to ask the professor a question about, he said, mind your business. This is an apple. It's plain and simple. It's none of your damn business if they're transgender, if they're male, if they're female. The only thing we need to concern ourselves about if somebody did something illegal, if they're robbing, stealing, hurting children, unaliving people, that's what we need. We don't care. It's not my business. It's not my business if a man feels that he's a transgender woman or a woman feeling. It's none of my business. How does it hurt me? How is it hurt me? And also, I want to say this very clearly because there is a singer or actress who actually, and I forgot her name. Why did I forget her name? You guys tell me her name because I just spoke about her the other day. That was very offended and actually called out a representative because she went to a meeting because she was offended because she had a fight with two transgender women at a gym. It's her name Tish or Stephanie. I'm sorry, I can't remember hers. I have an article. You know, I do a lot of stuff, so I forget these people's names. So anyway, when she came out and she said she felt offended because of the fact that the transgender was in the dressing room with her, she could have left, but she didn't leave. She decided to mind their business and she caused a big ruckus. I get what she's saying when she said that she feel unsafe. Then you feel unsafe, you leave. You see, many of us back in my day, I don't know about y'all, we used to use the bathroom. I was one of those that used to club. I don't know how young y'all people are. When we were clubbing back in the days, we went into the men's bathroom. The men went into our bathroom. Webster Hall, the door. That's what we were doing. You understand what I'm saying? Because when we drinking, we wouldn't care. If the line was long for the when we were going in the men's bathroom, guess what happened? The men mind their business. We went to the stall. We closed the door. We pissed. We wiped our hands and we left. I tell a story the other day. I was at Rockaway Beach with my granddaughter, right? They closed the bathroom down and she needed to pee. You think I was going to have my granddaughter pee outside? No. I took my granddaughter into the men's bathroom. You know what I did? I covered her eyes. I said, okay, baby, close your eyes. Close your eyes. You know what the men did? The men looked. They knew that there was a girl there. They made sure that they were okay. We went to the store. We closed the door. She pissed. She was laughing. She said, Grandma, that was crazy, huh? We went into the men's bedroom. I said, yeah, baby, but you said you couldn't hold it. And guess what? We left. We left. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what happens in real life. This whole political bullshit that the Republican and GOP and MAGA are making into a big thing is just about bullshit in order to gain some points. The fact of the matter is, all of you guys, if you are very lucky, if you don't have an LGBT, and I'm saying lucky in a funny way because I don't care. I have LGBTQ family members. It's fine with me. But in this world, in the Republican mind, because you guys are the one that have issues, in your mind, you probably think that you're lucky if you don't have one of them in your family. Whereas everybody has someone who loves other of their own kind, who are LGBTQ. You probably have extended family who are transgender. You understand what I'm saying? It's none of our business. That's what I'm saying. It's none of our business. And if you're worried about your kids being taught, because that was a big issue, especially with Black American. Black American surprised me with this one. I didn't know Black American was taking this transgender issue to heart like they did during the past election. But apparently Black American was worried about transgender people reading, or people who dress, not even transgender, but people who dress in and cross dressers, right? The people that actually performs and wear dresses and wigs and stuff like that. RuPaul, they were concerned with them reading library books to kids because they felt that that was going to influence their sexuality. They were concerned when you talk about two moms and two dads. You see, you have a right like everybody else. If you want to raise your kid to not understand that there could be two moms and two dads, as a parent, you have that right because that's your household. It's none of my business. As long as it don't infringe on my right to raise my kids the way I want to raise it. As long as you don't push your agenda on my school, I'm fine with it. I have no problem with my grandchildren and my kids understanding when as they get older, because I'm not going to tell a 2 or 3-year-old because they're not going to understand that there are different type of people in the world. It is none of our business to be hateful and wicked and wish bad on them because of who they were born to be.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. So let me ask you this question. Why do you think that there's such a great divide in the country right now when it comes to Democrats and Republicans? And do you think there's anything that could close the divide?
The only thing that closes the divide so far is the Epstein file. I think this is where we came together. Like, one of the things that I got in trouble was I did an article about CK, and one of the biggest casino removed my pass because they give you pass to film. I think I mentioned that the other time, and they removed my pass permanently because I did the article about CK. I was able to connect the fact that CK and I, who we are totally a different spectrum. I completely disagree with everything the man ever said in life, except that we came together when it came to Epstein file. He wanted the Epstein file to be released. I wanted the Epstein. I said, look, unfortunately, this horrible thing happened to this young man, and it shouldn't have happened. It's horrible, and it wasn't us. We need to find out who did it. But at the end of the day, a lot of people was talking badly about him, but he wanted to release the Epstein file. I think the Epstein file is what bringing everybody together at this moment of time, that everybody agrees that we need to release these names and stuff like that. So I think that's it. So are we very different? I mean, we're different in ideals and stuff like that, but it's just like, for example, I have mega extended family. They're not really my family, but they've known me since I was like 20. And a lot of mega people have Democrats in their family. So are we going to come together? I think we have to wait until Donald Trump transition out of this world, because a lot of people have this like fascination with Donald Trump, like he's a star, just like I have a fascination with Maxwell, Prince, and Michael Jackson. If they ran for office, maybe I'll feel the same way. But the fact is that we need to wait until Donald Trump transition to wherever he's going in the next stage of life, when he's no longer here because he's not a vampire. Then we could see if we could actually come together again with some semblance of normalcy, because people seem to have this fascination with this guy, and they don't want to understand that their fascination with this guy is based on a very horrible, degenerate person. So when he's unalive and all these other stuff start coming out, then people are going to have some coming to Jesus moment, and they're going to try to be denying that, yeah, I wasn't one of them. Nah, I was a GOP. Nah, I was a Republican. Nah, I was never MAGA. Nah, I was never. That's when we're going to start being able to have these actual conversations. Now, we are having some of these conversations now, because I think a lot of the a few MAGA communities not liking the way Donald Trump is handling the Epstein file. They may forget next year, but as of now, they're still pissed off about it. So some of us are having these conversations right now, but it's going to be when he moves on. I don't think J.D. Vance is going to have the same impact as Trump. I don't think any of his children are going to have the impact of Trump. I don't think Brandon is going to have the same. I think Trump is an anomaly on himself. So once he moves out, we may be able to have some type of formula. We will always be a separate opposite, because the Democrats and Republicans don't believe in the same thing, right?
The media is very forgiving, because remember with J.D. Vance, there was a rumor that he made out with a couch.
Oh, they still talk about that.
And people seem to have gotten over that.
No, nobody can talk about it. I mean, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, just put a picture of him with the couch the other day. So nobody forgot about that. It's just that everybody's so concerned. I mean, now that he's in office, most people are concerned about Trump. I mean, one of the things that I found very interesting that happened during the election is that when they were talking about why did Kamala Harris actually picked Tim, a lot of people were saying that, well, the VP doesn't do anything anyway. It doesn't matter. It's funny when it comes to Vance, that's exactly what it is. Nobody really paying attention to Vance, JD Vance. They're paying attention to Donald Trump. So whatever he does doesn't matter anymore because he's not relevant. He's not really relevant in the big scheme of stuff. He's just a talking head for Trump. So yeah, so nobody really cared about the couch thing anymore. They'll tease him about it, but they really don't care.
But he loves the Lord. He's a big Christian.
A lot of them are big Christian, right? A lot of them are big Christian, but a lot of them have perversion in their bedroom. But again, it's none of my business. As long as it's not hurting anybody, it's too considerate adult, it's none of my business. But yeah, a lot of them is Christian, right? But
right.
Yet these same Christians are protecting, stopping the Epstein file from coming out. All of them. Mm-hmm. They all, until, and I'm saying, and I'm going to say it again, I'm going to clap for the MAGA community. Because I promise you, they were not going to release the files for the Democrats. They don't give two shit and tell about Democrats. It was because MAGA and GOP Republican insisted that the Epstein file releases. This is where we are now. So congratulations to you guys, because y'all made that happen. Just like y'all put him in office, y'all made this happen. Congratulations.
Sassy Mo said, didn't Epstein die under Trump's watch?
Died under, well, yes, he did die under Trump watch because it was 2019 that he was unalive. And a lot with me, there is a lot of conspiracies that's coming out and saying that that something happened to Epstein, that Epstein did not unalive himself. I don't know where I stand on this, but if he were to unalive himself, I think the fact that he made a bad decision may have weighed heavily on him, because he had a chance. The author that wrote the book, they just talk about Wood. Is it the author that came out? Michael, is it Michael Woods?
Michael Wolff.
Well, Michael Wolff. Michael Wolff and him had a conversation about what to do with Donald Trump prior to him running for office. And Michael Wolff told him to let him run. Don't say anything, but you'll be able to have somebody in your back pocket. That's pretty much what he said in the email between the two of them. I think that Epstein felt that he had control of the world with Donald Trump in office. He really did. And I think the fact that he couldn't prevent himself from going back to jail, and he had this guy, if he did unalive himself, I think Donald Trump was the cause either way. Either the fact that he felt like, this man is going to probably put me under the ground because he knows that I know about him and I made the bad decision. So I think that, I think that Donald Trump was the reason why he was unalive, but it was under his watch. It was definitely under watch. It wasn't anybody else's watch. It was under his watch. And I love the fact that a lot of people say that, if Donald Trump tried to push the narrative is that, Biden, during the Biden administration, they knew about Epstein all this time. What people don't understand is that, first of all, Biden made it specifically clear that he's not going to relegate what the DOJ did or the FBI. He said that because of what happened with Trump prior 4 years. But the most important thing is that until 2018, from 2008, because I did also a deep analysis on Epstein. I got so much videos for you guys. Trust me, I'm gonna make these videos because I was prior to the election. I did a lot of deep dive into Epstein, his relationship with Trump, and his relationship with predators. So I have like hours of videos and coverage and links and receipts. Like, I don't talk just to talk. I have actual receipts that I could find, and I actually put the clips so that you guys could look it up yourselves. I do timestamps and everything on my videos to help you guys out. Y'all don't have to think too much about it. But one of the things is that I was talking about when it comes to Mark and Epstein and Trump is the fact that the 10 years from 2009 to 2018, it was understood and believed that Epstein served his time for his crime, right? At least that's what everybody wanted us to believe, right? It took the survivors 10 years to get the case reviewed again. 10 years to say that they were not consulted about this sentence. This is why it was brought up again, right? So there was nothing that Biden could have done. because he already served his time. It had to be. It was a reporter, and I forgot which. It wasn't. It was a reporter. It was also. It was two reporters, but it was a female reporter who actually stuck with the story about the Epstein unfair deal, and it took them 10 years, 10 under the Biden administration for a judge to say, okay, this deal was illegal. That's how come he was rearrested, because of that deal. He wasn't rearrested because obviously they knew that he was still doing the dirt, but he wasn't rearrested because of that. He was rearrested because of the fact that that deal was illegal, and it took them 10 years to get their day in court. That's what happened during the 10 years. So there was no way that Biden was going to be able to go and arrest Epstein when Epstein already served his time. And badly as it was, he already served his time for the crime that he allegedly, he said that he committed.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, since you're heavily into politics. Jasmine Crockett recently ran for a leadership position in her party, and the Democrats did not accept her, right? She did not win, but she is the one that raises the most money. Why do you think that's the case?
Democrats is not ready for a woman. The Democrats is not ready. The Democrats is like everybody else. It's male-dominated male-dominated political party. They're not ready for a woman. I mean, the hell that Kamala Harris had to go through to even be given a chance to run. And I love my Dems, but I'm not delusional either. I could see them, unlike Make American Great Again family. I love you guys, my brothers and sisters. You see, I ain't delusional. You understand what I'm saying? They are not going to put her. First of all, she's a black woman. She has an accent. She's also known to put people in their place. To them, she's not politically correct for the position. They need someone who's probably less volatile, a little bit more polished, who probably will play nicer to all of them. Jasmine's going to tell everybody to kiss her behind, and she's going to do what she has to do. You understand? Almost like me. Like many people has asked me to run for office. Many people. Many people. Believe it or not, I've been approached several times. I already told them it's not going to be pretty if I run for office, because I'm not going to be your everyday politician, because I'm going to tell it as it is. And sometimes they're not ready for that. They're just not. So yeah. So I'm not surprised they didn't give it to her.
Right. She's doing quite well, but I think she's going to have a problem trying to become a senator in Texas. What do you think?
Well, the thing is, that's why I say I want to see what happens in the midterm elections, because there's a lot of people, states that's giving the blue a chance. You have some school boys are turning blue, or they bringing Democrats. There's a lot of races that's turning Dems right now. So we don't know what's going to happen in Texas. The only person that I know that they won't get rid of is Ted Cruz. And I don't even understand what's going on with Ted. Ted could go on vacation while Texans freeze to death, and they still will vote for him. Ted Cruz have a lock on the area. So if she's running against Ted Cruz, I'll be like, oh, I don't know, because they're not ready to get rid of Ted Cruz. So other than that, we don't know. I want to see what happened in the midterm election before I make it.
Yeah, because with the redistricting, they really kicked her out of the playing field.
Okay. So that's exactly what they're doing in California. What I love about the Democratic state is that they're using Abbott own play on their in their state too. So we'll see what happens. So yeah.
Okay, very good. So I want to touch on
conversation. What are you talking about? Liberals don't like conversation. We having a full-blown conversation, Q. Full-blown conversation. I don't know, liberal, and I don't even know what your political party, because you and I have not talked about your political party. So we having a full-blown conversation. So I'm not sure what time you came in, but this is what conversation is about. You see, when two people talk and we answer questions and we have a dialogue, this is what a conversation is. So I'm sorry that you don't understand the difference.
Okay, so guys, we'd like to ask you to hit the like button, share, and subscribe if you like this type of information. We cover the news every day. Could you just tell everyone about yourself and about your channel and your slots?
People for the big crash. Which crash? I find them very interesting. I would, something, I'm going to teach you guys something as far as school. This is what I learned in school when I was a kid. I know we only have a certain amount of spaces, but it would be helpful if maybe you start a sentence with a subject, like tell us what you're talking about, and then maybe add your comment, like like Trump, da da da, or MamaFlip, da da da, or what I'm saying. It will help because some of you guys, I'm not understanding what you guys are saying. But go ahead. But I love you guys. I want to make sure I'm completely clear here because some people may find me a hater. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I have megas in my family. They're not really my family, but I'm a former Marine, by the way, Marine Corps veteran, Desert Storm. Also, I'm a Gold Star family member. And one of my best friends that's been for many, many years is also a Marine. And we've met each other while we served outside. And her family has been part of my family for close to 30 years. They are the most amazing bunch of people. It broke my heart when I realized that they're MAGA, right? But just the other day, we were hanging out at the Halloween party. So even though I was angry at them the first 4 years of Trump election time, I'm not now. We're cool now. Because you know why? Because I find everything that's happening hysterical. I find it hysterical that people, in a perverted way, that people actually voted for this fool again for another 4 years. So I'm actually enjoying myself. So there's no hate here. I mean, like I'm actually being entertained. I don't like a lot of stuff that he's doing. And if anybody need my help, I'll help them. But I actually found my humor in all of this because I'm like, yo, these people you guys are a lot for me. Thank you for saying thank you for my service. So there's no hate here. I'm good. Also, a lot of the people that we play slots with, a lot of them are Trump supporters. I mean, there's two guys that I really like. That every time I go on their live, they actually have a almost perfect. They imitate Trump perfectly. Like if you go on their slot channel, one of them is Avalon Slots. Go check it out. He sounds just like Trump. So every once in a while, I have to here he go with the accent, and I have to log off, glove back on. But a lot of them are just. I've met a lot of people. Big Mike is a Trump supporter, at least he was. I met a lot of people that I don't think I would have met or gotten along with the last 4 years that he was in office. That I am like in a totally different space. Like I'm really learning from the MAGA community and beginning to take the time to try to understand why I did what I did. Like it's like a test for me now because I'm really taking the time to understand you guys and be like, wow, like this is exactly what it is. Like, and I don't agree, but yeah, there's no hate there. I'm actually finding you guys to be highly entertaining. Like we are so different, but we're in the same space. It's crazy to me, but yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, so my final question for you tonight. You've done quite well.
Oh, you're so sweet. You always say I did well until afterwards, and then you be like, no, you gotta say I did well. You're so sweet, Mel.
If Donald Trump runs in 2028, would you like to see Barack Obama run against him?
I would love to see Barack Obama run against him, but I don't know.
No, hold on one second, because people in the audience are going to say, "Oh, you don't know the route." No, we're doing a hypothetical. We're doing a hypothetical because
neither one of them could run the third term. We know that, but we talk about a hypothetical. I would love Barack Obama to run against Donald Trump, but I don't know if I need to see what happened in midterm. I don't know if even Barack Obama would be able to get the votes against Donald Trump. You see, the issues that we have here is that. And I understand the progressive and independent party are now like waking up. It's like, oh my God, I didn't know it was going to be so bad. I would never have voted for him. Yes, the MAGA community, love you guys, did not bring Trump into office by themselves. They had the Latinos help. Love you guys, but they did. They had our young college students because of the war that's across the country. And I'm not talking about Russia and Ukraine. I'm talking about the other war. And they had the liberals and they had the progressive who hated Kamala Harris. Now, if President allegedly, I mean, if in the scenario President Barack Obama came with a vote, then he would have the same issues that Kamala Harris had, except for he's a man. He won't have the sexist issues, but he'll have the same thing because they're going to want him to disavow certain things. They're going to want him to do things that he's not going to be able to do. So they're going to talk themselves into Trump again. I think if Trump run to 2028, unless certain things happen, like they find his name, possibly if they find his name in the Epstein file, maybe possibly if the tariff keep destroying America, if the price if people start losing jobs, they may let him go. But I don't think that they're going to let Donald Trump go until he no longer exists in this world. I think he has to go. Like a disease, you have to go through it and it has to be eradicated for people to wake up. I think that's what it is when it comes to Trump. Like, Trump is their Messiah. He's their Jesus Christ. So they going to always fight for him. So I think that there's a possibility if he runs in 2028, that he'll win again.
Yeah, a lot of Republicans say that there's a scripture that says that Trump would be in the last days. Have you heard that one?
One more time.
They said there's a scripture in the Bible that says that Trump will be in the last days.
Oh, he's going to cause the last days? Yeah. Let me stop playing with the Bible. Even though I'm a lapsed Catholic, I do respect the Bible. I think the fact of the matter is that Trump is not Jesus Christ. He's not. There's nothing saintly about Trump. Trump doesn't even know the Bible. He can't read a scripture to save his ass. All right. Trump is a con man. He's a player. He was able to tap into the needs and the hatred and the bigotry of a country that is no longer existing. You see, white America, and I love you, my white brothers and sisters. I have to say I love you guys, because when I say this, I'm giving you a tea that I have, but it's no hate. I don't hate you guys, but let's keep it real. The world was changing. There was no longer pure white people. We were being, there was a mixture, like the brown and the black and brown bodies was aligning and combining with your pure whiteness, and you couldn't deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? Donald Trump came here, and he's a white man, even though his family's from Germany. He came and he tried to talk about how we could make it pure again, how we could save the world, how we could go back to the 1950s, how we could teach the black and brown people to know their space, their place, right? Until he goes, until the delusion of him gone, y'all got to continue to think that way, right? And you're holding on to something that is no longer exists. Like, there's no such thing as a pure race. Even a pure black race is not there anymore. And a lot of people can't deal with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, we're just going to have to see what happened. We're going to have to see what happened when it comes to Trump.
So you mentioned, I wanted to switch up a little bit for our last few minutes. I'm enjoying it so well, but I know, you have things to do. We have a big day tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We can talk for a while. I'm good.
Okay. So you mentioned you were a Catholic. When I went to Rome, I enjoyed myself thoroughly. But one of the things I learned in Rome is that we're going to switch to this a little bit. If you're uncomfortable, then that's okay. But one thing I learned is that the Roman Empire eventually became the Vatican City, or the Roman Catholic Church.
Yes.
So they did it in a very disguised way, but the Roman Empire is the Catholic Church. What say ye?
I mean, yeah, the Roman Empire is the Catholic Church, but also if you look deep into it, like back in the days, they used to kill Protestants and everybody that was not Catholic. I mean, religion has always been the most horrible weapon when it came to humanity. The atrocities that people have done across all religion, whether you're a Protestant, whether you're a Catholic, I don't want to talk about other people. I'm just going to talk about Catholics because
I talk about it. I
don't want to talk about my other people because I'm going to have people coming at me. Trust me, I have friends who are very passionate about their nationality. I'm just going to talk about Catholicism, because I'm a Catholic. I'm saying that there is certain Christianity. I can talk about Christianity because I'm black, but there's certain religion that has been very evil to humanity, and that has tried to eradicate other people's beliefs. So yeah, of course I know that Rome became the Catholic hubbub. So was England. England oh my God, the wars that happened between the different facets of England, the different kings that had to unalive some of their wives in order to marry because the Catholic Church would not allow them to marry. Like, come on, I think it was King Harry. Like, come on now, this
You
it is
know,
what it
you
is.
know what most people don't realize, especially Black people, they don't realize when I went to Rome, and actually when I was in the Vatican, they told me that I was at St. Peter's Basilicus, I believe. And anyway, they said that before the first slave ships went out, right, they had to get the approval from the Pope.
That I never heard.
Yeah, I
I
learned that.
never
I learned that in Rome, the Pope gave the approval on the first Portuguese slave ships to go
really.
out.
I've
Yeah,
never
so I learned a lot when I was in Rome. I'm telling you.
I've never heard of that.
Uh,
But
my
if you
next
look
my
at
next trip is to Greece because Greece brought over the influence. That's where a lot of the influence came for the Greek scriptures. In fact, right? They're written in Greek because Jesus would have spoken Aramaic. Also, his the apostles and the disciples, they were speaking Aramaic. But when you look at Matthew to Revelation, it's all written in Greek. So, there's a lot of cookie crumbs there if you just follow and you start to see. Like, for instance, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the synoptic gospels, if you go to the King James Bible, it says written according. These are anonymous writers. They don't know who actually wrote these books. These are some of the things that we discussed
well,
when I went to Rome.
I haven't studied the Bible in many years, ever since ever since I was a
Yeah.
kid. So I'm not as detailed. I can't read off the scriptures or anything like any of my Christian brothers and sisters. So I'm not about that.
Okay.
A lot of the things that I know about what happens is based on my study of Rome and watching TV, movies and stuff like that. That's why I know, because there's a lot of movies back in the days as a kid I used to watch, and then I would research it and see what's real and what's not. So I don't know too much, but I definitely do know that religion played a very evil part in a lot of different countries. Now, I'm very surprised that the Pope actually uh, gave the blessings. But then, if you think about it, back in the days, like prior to Jesus Christ, in the before Jesus, what, the AD time, a lot of people, when they
BC. Yeah.
BC
BCE. Yeah.
BC, sorry, before Christ, BC,
Mhm.
and then after AC, after Christ, but BC, a lot of the people who became slaves were based on wars, right? Like when
Yeah.
you go into country or a state or a piece of land, and you dominate and you destroy, you make these people your slaves. So slavery goes way back in beginning of time. It goes in the beginning of time. So it just became a black and white thing, as as we became Americans, I guess. But it was because Americans left England, uh, mostly a white country, and they came here and they took it from the Native American, who are mostly brown, and then they decided, hey, why don't we just bring some black people over here because we don't want to do the work that we need to do. So it's crazy.
Right. Right. Very good. So I think we've covered a lot of ground tonight. It was nice having you on.
I do want to talk about I know we said I didn't want to talk, because it's in your title, unless you remove it, about what happened today with the National Guard.
Yes. Let's go there. If you have time, let's talk about it.
Well, we have I tell you, if you want to do a 3-hour show, I'm here for you.
Okay.
First of all, I want to take a moment to, if we could have a moment of silence for the National Guards who are alive, because I heard 2 of them pass. So if we could have a moment of silence on that. I'm not sure if it's exactly a minute, but
Okay. Yeah, we're close to.
so anyway, the National Guard. So I was very upset about the National Guard today, and I did a clip on MamaFlip Lives. Please join MamaFlip Slot channel, though. Please join
Okay. we'll have the moderators put that up, please, for her. Thanks.
If you want to hear my opinion on politics, it's MamaFlip Live, but I really would like everybody to join MamaFlip channel. Please help me get to over 10,000. Even if you don't like me, just please help me get to over 10,000 subscribers. Y'all gonna love, especially if y'all hate me, y'all gonna love seeing me lose money in the casino and laugh at me. The National Guard. So I was very upset about the National Guard story because of the fact that they're trying to equate the Democratic representatives who has asked for or who has mentioned to our military personnel that they should not do anything illegal, right? They have a right to disobey an illegal order, right? Unlawful order. This is part of the uniform code. We were taught in boot camp, we were taught in training, we were taught as personnel, military personnel, you do not follow an unlawful law. All you have to do is Google it, because I did it today for y'all, but I'm not going to bring it up because we ran out of time. Say, are you allowed to say no to unlawful law? And it will tell you in the Google machine, it will tell you, yes, you are allowed to say no. You have to go through office hours. You have to go speak to a counsel. You have to speak to your officer. So what the Senate did when they did that PSA was not wrong. Okay? It's right. Anybody besides a far-right veteran or a far-right soldier who's talking some BS to y'all, right, would agree you have to follow the Constitution, not unlawful law. Okay, so with that said, so I'm pissed off about them now trying to blame the Senate or the PSA for the unalivement of the National Guard. First of all, as a gun violence prevention advocate, I have to tell you, I've been doing this work for many years. These horrific incidents happens on every single holiday. Just start paying attention. Oh, I lost you. Did you just leave me? You left me by myself. These horrific incidents happen every single holiday. Christmas, New Year's, Mother's Days, Valentine's Days. These horrific things happen because this is when these people who have severe mental health issues, they plan in order, because they want to make a name for themselves, to do these horrific incidents during the big holidays. So whether it's before, the day of, or after, this incident always happens. So one thing. So we can't blame. But what really ticks me off is that if we are to blame anybody, it should be the man in the White House. If you want to place blame of why these people were out there and they were unalive, why don't we just place some blame on him? Because National Guards was not created to be on our subway stations, to be walking around, picking up garbage, and playing statue outside the White House. And if you are going to do that, then have them get protected. There's no reason why our National Guard should be out here in the street, knowing that the type of world we're in. Why are they not behind the gates? What is happening right now? And also, where is his ass? Why is he not back in Washington, D.C.? Did he fly back here? Or is he in Mar-a-Lago waiting for Thanksgiving? A horrific thing happened in Washington, D.C. He need to carry his behind back over here so he can have a conversation with the families. You understand what I'm saying? So this incident that happened today really pissed me off. If we're going to blame anything, let's talk to Trump. And now he's talking about bringing another 500 National Guard to do what? To do what? A lot of these National Guards don't want to be here in the first place. I see them all the time on our train station. They don't even want to look at us in the eye. They feel ashamed. They feel embarrassed. And most of them are from our community. Most of the National Guard are Black and brown people. They over here have to go against their own people. This is ridiculous. So I want to give condolences to the family and friends of the two guards that was taken. I hope we get justice. I don't even know if they caught the person yet, because apparently they said they had a suspect, and then before I came on live, they still didn't catch him. They need to catch the person that did it. I would be very surprised if it's a Black and brown person, because I think they would have caught them by now, but we will see. Condolences to the family. I hope they get justice, and I hope the guards who are heroes, may they rest in peace.
Well, that was very passionate. Thank you for sharing your feelings about that. Maybe one day we'll have you talk more about the military background, perhaps, so we could get a better understanding too.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And oh, please, he doesn't need to do any such thing. Bull, because it was Biden. Y'all would have cursed Biden out. Don't play games with me. Don't play games with me. Let me tell you something. Every serious situation that happened under the presidency needs to be taken into consideration. If those people was unalived on the Biden watch, you guys would have a heart attack. If Biden was sitting in where is he? He's not in Baltimore. I forgot where Massachusetts. I forgot where Biden came from.
Delaware.
Delaware. Y'all would be having a heart attack right now that he's sitting in front of a turkey. Y'all would expect his ass to be back in Washington, D.C. the moment of to make sure that he handled this thing personally, because the National Guards were not in any other states. They were placed here by him outside the White House. That's his place. That's his home, allegedly, because y'all placed him there. His sorry ass needs to bring his ass back to Washington, D.C. to handle the situation. And if it was Biden, y'all would lose your minds if he had done that. But anyway, that's my point. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So he says...
Yes, I know. He said that National Guard is for 44 domestic terrorists, domestic violence, or upheaval. And there's domestic violence upheaval in Washington, D.C. Explain that to me. Let me tell you what the National Guards are doing in New York. They are at the train station. Mel, have you seen the National Guards fight any crimes in our communities? Are they outside taking guns away from our communities? Are they stopping our children? What are they doing? They are in the train stations in New York. That's what they're doing. Trained behind the police officers. They're not walking out neighborhoods trying to take guns out of our kids' hands. They're not doing none of that. What were they doing in Washington, D.C.? What were they doing in Washington, D.C.? Did they uncover any crimes? Did they take guns away? Are they helping the homeless? Are they feeding the poor? What the hell are they doing? They're picking garbage and they're walking around Washington, D.C. and they do not have the proper gear. Why are they walking around without the proper gear? If they're going to be out there, they should at least have riot gears. You know what riot gears consist of? It consists of a helmet. It consists of a bulletproof vest. Why don't they have the proper gear? What are you guys talking about? He is responsible for what happened to those National Guard. And if he's going to bring 500 more, and you guys are so passionate about this fool, that you need to tell him to protect our soldiers. They need to protect the National Guards. Period. This incident should not have happened. He was delicate. He was wrong. He fell as a leader to protect those guys. It's his fault. And he needs to bring his ass back here, and he needs to talk to these families. He better call them, because he has a habit of not calling survivors. How do I know? Because I'm a survivor myself. He doesn't call survivors. He don't call these families to give his condolences. He think it's beneath him. So anyway, I'm sorry, Mel. I went in again.
Okay. Deborah says these two guards did not deserve this. They are support.
They are support, and they're also heroes. All of them out there are heroes. Now they have a. You have to understand, doing the work of gun violence prevention, doing the work as a survivor. I've been doing this. I've been working with survivor families for many years. I've met huge for the last, since 2012 to where I stepped aside. And when did I step aside? In 2024, I gave my position to somebody else. I'm still in the movement, but in the background. I've met almost every single survivor that had a huge story. I'm talking about Columbine. We talk about Sandy Hook. We talk about Aurora Theater. All of these survivors I've personally met, sat down with, spoken to, Pulse nightclub, families I've met, spoke to them. We talk about our loved ones. We talking about our family members, how holidays is the most difficult things. I feel sorry for the two National Guards, but we also talk about the responsibility of the government to protect us citizens from gun violence, protect us citizens from people who have serious mental, not people with mental illness are not the ones that cause this, because they are more likely to get hurt than anything else. But we do have to care about the gun issue in America. And it's the government responsibility to keep us safe. Is Donald Trump responsibility to keep the National Guard safe? He's the one that putting them in harm's way. He's the one that putting them in harm's way. And he is responsible at the end of the day what happened to those two people. He is responsible for it because he brought them here under false pretenses. So
Okay, all right. Let's see here. Steve says yes, it was a Muslim.
oh, it was a Muslim. Black Muslim, white Muslim?
They said Afghanistan. That's what they're saying in the audience.
Afghanistan. Black or brown, Afghanistan or Muslim? Black or brown? That's what I'm want to know. I want to find out. A migrant. An Afghanistan migrant that did it. Well, so far I need to find out what he did because I feel bad for Kash Patel then if that's the case. If it's a migrant and look like Kash Patel, I think he did. You guys are gonna be pissed off at Kash again because apparently y'all don't like the fact that Kash is a brown man. Y'all gonna be pissed off again at JD Vance's wife. Apparently y'all don't like her either. So I don't know if it is of Afghan. Y'all better look in your own circle.
JD,
a lot of black and brown. I mean, Muslim in your circle.
JD Vance.
I'm saying that Muslim is responsible. I'm not digging on my Muslim brothers and sisters. I'm just saying the MAGA community is going to have a field day with this one, if it is that what it is. But go ahead. You said JD Vance?
JD Vance says he hopes his wife converts to Christianity.
That's the only way that he's going to win presidency. And okay, so we're gonna take away. God bless. Prayers to the family of the National Guards. I hope they get closure. I hope they get justice. So we're gonna move away from that. JD Vance is not gonna. I don't think is gonna win the presidency with MAGA with his Muslim wife.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna have to force her hand. If he's gonna run for president, he's gonna have to force her hand. And then they're not gonna forget that that she's a Muslim, but they may overlook it if she goes through the whole But it's going to be hard on her because, her family, she's going to have to disavow her family. It's going to be crazy. But I don't think he's going to be able to win a presidency if his wife is still a Muslim, especially now after this. If that is a Muslim, if it is Afghanistan, it's going to be another CK situation. It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane.
Ward Crisp says, bullshit. We don't care about his wife's religion.
Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay. I can't name his name because I got flagged on TikTok. But if you guys are supportive of Nick F, go listen to what he had to say. He's one of y'all. Nick F is one of y'all. Nick F doesn't like JD Vance or his wife. Did you hear what he called his wife? Nick F is disrespectful. Y'all definitely care. Y'all definitely care that she's not a Christian. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've never heard such disrespect in my life about a first lady. And I thought Michelle Obama had it bad. Y'all used to call her all kind of names, Mel, all kind of stuff like that. But his wife, oh, y'all out of line when y'all talk about her, boy. Go ahead.
Okay, so
delusional. Okay.
Yeah, it says there was no false pretense. Your delusional crime was out of control in D.C. The mayor of D.C. even thanked Trump for bringing them in.
And is crime controlled now? Because if crime was controlled, then the National Guard would be alive right now, right? Huh? Let's
Speak on
it. If crime was controlled, how come we have 2 National Guards who was unalive today? What are we talking about here, people? It's everyday common sense, There's no brilliantness in my analogy. I'm not a college professor. You understand what I'm saying? I don't speak 10,000 words and stuff like that. I'm a very educated woman who's very successful in my field, but I speak everyday language, like 1, 2, 3, ABC. Like, what are you talking about? They just killed unalive 2 National Guards that Trump brought in. How is that going to help to bring 500 others so there can be additional targets? What the hell are you talking about? I'm delusional? I just saw the photo. There's a photo of a man of National Guards online. They took a close-up photo of this guy. Come on, stop playing with me. Y'all playing. Y'all go ahead.
Jeb Common says because of a random crazed Democrat. That's the reason why.
And most of y'all people that unalive people was crazed. The one that tried to allegedly, if it's true, that tried to unalive Trump was a Republican, was a Trump supporter. Almost every single situation that happened so far was a Trump supporter. So I would love to see if what you're saying is true, if this person is a Democrat or not, because it seems like there is a hatred right now. Even the one that unalived CK the other day is also allegedly a Trump supporter. right? He wore a Trump supporter hat. So I would love to find out what is it that this government is going to do to stop the hate rhetoric that's happening right now, that's causing everybody to be in danger. You can't even be a guard without being unalive on America ground in Washington, D.C., the most political place in the world. Like, what are we going to do? What is he going to do to stop the rhetoric, to stop this madness?
Okay. Sassy Mo says red states have the highest crime rates in the entire country, yet not one soldier has been set foot there.
True. In red states, you're absolutely right, because most of the mass shootings, if you look at the if you look at the surveys, most of the unalivement mass shootings happen in red states. Now we have urban community crimes, and in some cases it would be deemed now mass shootings, but pretty much most of the high profile, maybe it's because red states have predominantly white people, are full of crimes, full of mass shooting. It's insane. Like, just look at the statistic. We don't even have to talk about it. All you have to do, you guys love to Google and stuff like that, just Google statistic, who has the highest crime rates, and you'll see per capita is the red states.
Okay. Ward Chris says the terrorist attack is not common. What the freak is wrong with you?
What terrorist attack? When you say terrorist attack is not common, we're talking about mass shooting. I am her when it comes to gun violence prevention. What terrorist attack? Like, we're talking about mass shooting. We're talking about the fact is that somebody killed 2 National Guards. Now, you saying that the person is from Afghanistan, I didn't see that. You said the person is a migrant, I didn't see that. So is the person illegal? Is the person legal? How is that? How is this person being here? Is it a national? Is it a person with a green card? What are you talking about? Like, migrant, I didn't see anything that says illegal. So if the person's a migrant, that means that they're American citizen, or they have a green card, or something like that. That means that they're legally here. So how is this terrorist? Most likely it's a domestic issue, isn't it? What are you talking about? Like, this is the kind of nonsense that people don't understand. You guys need to understand the differences of what's happening. You have 2 National Guards who were serving our country, who was unalived in the middle of the day by a deranged person who had easy access to guns. That's what we have so far. Until I find out anything else, that's what I'm talking about. This should not have happened. Those guards should not have been there to be killed in the first place. He didn't need to bring them into Washington, D.C. He brought them into Washington, D.C. on a false pretenses that there is overwhelming crime in Washington, D.C. And if that's the case, then did he solve the crime trouble? No, he didn't, because 2 National Guards was gunned down in Washington, D.C. in front of the White House in the middle of the day. So that's where we are with this thing.
Okay, guys, take a moment, hit the like button, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much. Tom First says she don't have a clue. It is 100% the left fault, and they call for violence.
Really? How did the left call for violence? Let's talk about it. How did the left call for violence? When the left is the only one that's been saying that we need to calm down the rhetoric. They've been telling Donald Trump, you need to calm down the rhetoric. You need to stop talking about these things. You need to stop threatening media. You need to stop threatening the Dems. You need to stop threatening the Senate, who said that it shouldn't be. You don't need to follow unlawful law. Why are you talking about they should be hanged, or imply they should be hanged for seditious? Donald Trump is the epitome of a hating old man who's calling for violence, and you guys are doing nothing to stop him. Y'all doing nothing to stop him. So if anybody is following suit, y'all need to look at your guy. Y'all need to have a conversation with him and tell him to stop. Because the rest of us is saying, hey, that wasn't fair. Even the people who didn't like CK, been talking like this was horrible. He shouldn't be allowed to say his piece without him being taken out. You guys was laughing what they did to Nancy Pelosi. You guys didn't speak about I think she was a representative, state representative, and her husband, and the puppy that was unalived at her house the other day. You guys don't talk about nothing except for when it impacts you guys. You guys don't care about gun violence at all. You guys, I mean, I've never seen a country where one political party are so inundated with the Second Amendment. And I believe in the Second Amendment. I'm a sharpshooter. So I believe in, I was an NRA member at one time. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm talking from the experience. But you guys don't care about the fact that people are being unalive on a daily basis because you care about these rules and regulations and you want to place blame. You need to understand what the issues is, really look into the issues, and then you could talk about it. Because for now, a lot of you guys are talking on the other side of your head. Y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about, to be honest with
you. Okay. All right. So Jeb Common says that crime is down in DC.
Crime wasn't the only thing that was high, because I've been to DC a long time. The only thing that was high in DC was the homeless. That was what was going on with DC. That's what was going on with DC. They wanted to clean up the homeless because they felt that the homeless was having giving them a bad image. Around Washington D.C. and around Congress and House Representative, all those buildings across the street was a park, and that's where the homeless stayed. They brought the National Guards to clean up the homeless, to clean up the encampment that was there. That's what they did. They haven't stopped anything except for that. If there's going to be some unalignment, it's going to continue, and it has continued because today proved the point. If it was 75%, I guess it's 70% now because of the fact that they just unalived 2 National Guards on the middle of Washington, D.C. in front of the White House. That is the biggest disrespect that you could give any administration, to go to his home, because that's his home and that's area, and to take unalive 2 people on your watch. That's the biggest disrespect. So if he's trying to do something with the National Guard, he just defeated it with the killing of these 2 National Guards.
Okay, very good. All right, so I think this is going to wrap it up for us. I'm going to let you close this out.
And I read that last part, so I got to find out if this guy is Afghanistan and stuff like that. But go ahead, you were saying.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, I just wanted that I read the last statement, and I'm going to go back and see, because as far as I know, before I came here, they didn't find the person yet, so I'm going to see what they're talking about. But go ahead, you were saying.
Okay, so we're gonna close out. It's been a great show. We're at we're an hour and 40 minutes. Thank you guys for all the likes, shares, subscriptions. I really want people to please go and support her channel,
if you don't mind.
Let's see here. Even if you don't like her, she'll be on every week Thursday night, right?
Y'all gonna be mad at that.
Yeah, every Thursday night you could tune in to have MamaFlip.
Yes.
You want to tell them why we call you MamaFlip?
Yes, MamaFlip is because my son is Queen's Flip, and Queen's Flip. So I'm MamaFlip, and my mom is Grandma Flip. So we take after him. He wants a piece of the cut because we keep using his name, but that's how they call me, MamaFlip. And because I really have a big profile out there in the real world, I'm really her outside of here. But I want my social media identity to align with my son, because it makes it cleaner for me, to be able to say and do pretty much whatever I want to without it reflecting on everything else, even though I'm still the same person across, So that's why MamaFlip is very important, because it reminds me of my son. So yeah.
Yeah, son's a big time guy. That's good. Awesome. You did great work. So at any rate, let's put up her. Guys, can someone, one of the moderators, post her? Bordo, can you put up the link? I don't know where it is now, to her page, so people can go support. I'll also put it on the community page for you as well. But I just want to make sure you get your due.
Thank you. I don't know anything about Lincoln Riley, but I'll take a look at it. Brian Central T.
Okay.
I'll take a look. But you have to remember, Biden is no longer president, so we're talking about the current guy, which is Trump. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna have that put up, your link to your page.
Yes, please.
I'll have to go back and find it.
Oh, let's
see. Was it started? Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. So maybe Bordeaux is not here. All right. So at any rate,
put it here.
I'll make sure I put it on the community page, guys. But go ahead and tell everybody what it is. They could find it as well.
Yes, MamaFlip Slots is the channel. I just put it on the other side, but it's MamaFlip Slots channel. You want to share? You want to share it so I could put it up on the? Yes. Give me 1 second.
Your page.
Yeah, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Let me see if I could do it this.
Take your time. Take your time.
And I know everybody's like,
Sassy Mo says, thanks for your service, Mama Flip. Okay.
Thank you so much. Also, I want to make sure that you guys understand that I take this very seriously because my nephew was Lance Corporal Nicholas White, and he was unalived and during the in 2006 during the Iraq Afghanistan war. So I take this very seriously when it comes to also being a Marine, when it comes to our servicemen, and I'm very upset that these young people lost their lives, and I don't even know how old they are. Like that, it's horrible, and it shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have been there like that. And if we're going to have them, let's just say that you guys are right, and you said that Donald Trump did the right thing to have them there to help keep. Okay, I just posted it to keep Washington D.C. safe. I mean, if this is what we want to think, if this is what we thank you so much, Daj. I also put it Doe. Is it Doe? Thank you, Doe. Yeah. Let's just say that that's what he did. He brought the National Guards there in order to keep our city safe. There's no proof that's what they're doing. And if he's going to do that, he needs to protect them. If they're going to be on the street, there has to be a way to protect these people and stuff like that, to keep them as safe as possible so that they are not targets. Right now, based on what happened today, they could be deemed targets, just like in every other situation. So if he cares so much about them, about keeping our country safe, then he needs to do better. And I will end it there because I talked too much about it.
Okay, thank you very much. That was heartfelt.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you again. There's no hate in my heart for you guys. I am really beginning to appreciate the MAGA community and the way that you guys think. I'm still learning. I disagree with you guys 110%, but I'm learning from you guys about why you think and move the way you do. And it's a very interesting lesson that I'm going through right now. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you very much. A lot of people are thanking you for being here. That's awesome. Next week on Thursday, we'll continue the news whispers.
Yes.
Sometimes we want to cover news that is a little borderline gossipy. We need a night to talk about some of the gossip.
Oh, wait a minute before you leave. Now that you talk about gossip, I know you're about to leave. What do you think about the Amon and the Donette situation? You don't know Amon Wiggins and Donette? You didn't go inside the courthouse, so you never met them too.
Yeah, I met them. I know them.
Okay, so what do you think about what's going on with them as content creators? Like,
I don't know anything about them at all.
You don't know about the fight that's going on between the two? Okay, you got it. No. So we got to talk about it next week, right? Look up what's happening between Donat and Amon. I always call him Donat. Donat and Amon Wiggins. Amon Wiggins is saying that Donat is stalking him, and they go to trials together just like they did. They're doing the
Megan Thee Stallion, maybe.
They're both over there, and it's a big thing right now. So who do you think is going to win the case between Mel Gross and Megan Thee Stallion? Have you been studying that?
I think it's probably going to be Megan.
I thought it was Megan too, but I'm caught in between, because here's the thing. If Mel Gross get into trouble, it might impact the rest of us on YouTube. It may, because I think she went too far with the Megan situation. I think that she really became really close with Troy family, and this is why she really went after Megan, because she didn't have to go that way. So I agree with Megan in that regards, because I also have a celebrity son, and I hate when they go after him and they tell stories about him that they don't even know the real truth. They just would pick something and make it into something that's not. So I'm with Megan, but I'm also part of Mel Gross, because as a YouTuber ourselves, we want to have the First Amendment right to tell our story and not be constrained. You understand? We've been constrained way too much under the Trump administration when it comes that we can't say certain things, do certain things without us being penalized. Like, again, with me telling the CK story in the casino that I partnered with took away our partnership. Like, this is happening in real life. So I'm stuck in between of who is going to win. I think it's Megan. I'm a little on Megan, but then I'm concerned because the jury didn't come immediately. So Are they negotiating and they're splitting the baby, like saying, okay, we're gonna find her guilty, but we're not gonna give her this much? Is the same thing happening with Diddy? Because the Diddy trial, when he was found not guilty the first 2 times, I almost had a heart attack. So I'm a little bit, so we have to talk about that next week.
Yeah. I didn't hear anything about Armand and
It's crazy right now. Armand went on Twitter and wrote a rant about how he's gonna now hire a lawyer to bring a case against the Knot because of what happened in Florida, in Miami. So it's crazy. You definitely go take some time and read through it, and then we can talk about it next week. So those are the 2 T's right now I'm concentrating on. There's a lot of other T's, but those 2 are really I'm interested in because I know both the Knot and Amon Wiggins, and I like them both, which is very weird because it's like seeing 2 people who I really like and respect in the field fighting each other makes me crazy. And so yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah. You think we'll see Wendy Williams come back on the air?
I don't think Wendy Williams will come back in the air because even though they haven't found that she has legitimate cognitive issues, she does have health issues when it comes to her leg and everything like that. And I think that it's going to be impossible for her to really be able to move the weight, so she has physical limitation. Now, if she has a podcast, I think that would be amazing. If somebody will help her set her up in a podcast, if she's still Wendy, that would be amazing. We will come T just like Tasha K. We would be on that T every day. But I don't know if she has the stamina to come back and do a actual show. I just don't see it. No, I think she's beyond that.
All right. Okay. A lot of people are telling you have a happy Thanksgiving, and they really appreciate having you on.
Thank you for serving.
And so next week.
Thank you.
Next week, you'll be back on Thursday. We'll talk about the news whispers, what people are talking about, right? We talk about some of the things that we don't typically talk about during the day. All right. So it's a beautiful situation. Nice. I actually enjoyed listening to you.
Oh, thank you. You are so sweet. Let me tell you, he didn't say too much to me when we met in person, by the way, guys. I'm just letting you know. He was like, I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm not a big talker, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Sweet. No, I do enjoy talking.
But I recognize your talent, so I'm glad that you're a permanent fixture on Watching the World. That's awesome.
We are a permanent fixture as of now until I piss you off and then you kick me out. Like,
never. I don't know if that's possible, you know. I don't know
I could be very opinionated. I promise you. You'd be like, stop.
Okay. That's all right.
No, but I really appreciate the fact that you invite me into your world, and I'm really looking forward to coming in and just giving my 2 cents. Again, I tell people all the time in my life, I'm just I'm a Black woman living in Brooklyn, just telling you my thoughts. That's all it is. Just think about me as anybody that you meet in your family, an auntie, a grandmother, a mom. That's who I am. I'm just telling you my 2 P's as if it's at the kitchen table. Y'all can disagree with me all y'all want to, but I'm going to have my say. That's the whole you should think of me as, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's awesome. Amazing. I really enjoyed the show tonight, and thank you guys for tuning in. You want to give your final words for tonight?
Thank you, guys. Please enjoy your Thanksgiving. I know today is a sad day with the National Guards. Please hold the National Guards and their family in your prayers. Also, other survivors of whatever tragedy you think there are people right now that are suffering because they have an empty chair at their table. And those 2 families just before the holiday is tragic. Please keep them in your thoughts. If you're praying people, please pray for them. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Have safe fun. If you're meeting your liberal family members, or if you're liberal and meeting your MAGA family members, just don't talk about politics on the table. Leave it at the door. Have a good time, drink and party. It will be there the next day. Okay, so enjoy, and thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in today. We really had a great show. Thank you so much for being here, MamaFlip. As always, I look forward to your next show. You're quite the entertainer, something that I'm not. You know, I'm not no. It's not my thing, you know. But anyway, it's nice to have you. I just want you to know that for all of our great watchers, we'll be back on Friday at noon to drop the news to see what's happening. hopefully we'll have much more updates when it comes to the incident that happened today, and our hearts go out to the people that were impacted tremendously. But thank you so much. Enjoy yourself with your family. Life is short. Remember that. So, a lot of people in my family this year, my family was hit with so many loss. A lot of people that were here last year for Thanksgiving did not make it to see this one. So, keep that in mind. But keep the happy thoughts. We don't want to dwell on what's negative. But remember to love on the people that love you. And I'll leave you with that thought. Good night to all, and good night to you, Mama Flip. I'll
Right.
see you next week. All right.
See you
But
next
I'm
week.
always available to you. If you need to reach out to me, you know how to get me.
Oh,
All
I
right.
have to tell you before you left, I tagged you guys on my last slot live, by the way. I just want to let you
Okay.
know. I may
Okay.
continue to do that. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
you could do that. You could tag. You could advertise. Whatever you want to do, I'm here for you. All
All right.
right.
Thank you. Okay,
All
bye, guys.
right.
Happy
You're far too kind. Thank you.
Thanksgiving. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Different voices, but the same song. Living a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.